All right, guys, let me know if you can hear me. How does it sound? How does it look? Because clearly I'm not home. I'm in a hotel. For those of you that might not know, I came down to Pittsburgh to see McBean Scottish Fitness, and he had a disc throwing event. So they had like some kind of senior Olympics, if you will, something like it anyway. And I came down to support him, cheer him on. It was a good time. Uh, and if you people, any old people out here who do that kind of shit, congratulations, man. I was really impressed with all the old people that showed up. 5x5. All right. So I'm using a hotspot to do this. So at any time, this could shit the bed. But everybody's saying 5x5 and it looks good. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. I'm going to, like I said, we'll see. We'll see how this turns out because this is my first time using a hotspot and doing this. All right, good. All right, Laura, thank you for the 5x5. New World, Henry, Dobie, Let's Try Gardening. Thank you for the 5x5. Santiago, Dan Phillips, Mr. Landfill. Thank you for the 5x5. High Flyer, Cramsey. I'm pretty sure I always messed that one up. Gick Rhymes, nice one. Thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it as always, guys. Someone's asking, yes, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm in this city, this state, Pennsylvania, that is, never fucking ends. It's you drive 5 hours and you're still in fucking Pennsylvania. You're driving in the car, 5 hours pass, you get out to get gas or just to take a piss, and you're like, what in the actual fuck? Why am I still in this state? Right? So, yeah. This is like the never-ending state. This in fucking Nebraska. There's like another big state. You just never get out of here. It's like, what the fuck? So, yeah. Loud and clear. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Shirley. And thank you, Amanda, for the 5x5. Groundhog, thank you for the 5x5. And there was somebody else buffering for me, lagging a little bit. Yeah, so I'm it looks fine here. So hopefully it holds. Buffering, lagging. Hopefully it doesn't buffer and lag too much, guys. So, Thomas, thank you for the 5x5. And Luis, thank you for the 5x5. So, yeah, this fucking state never ends, man. Like, just never ends. I'm like, why in the fuck? Seriously. Is it a psychological thing? Or am I just, like, excited to leave the city? I don't know. It's just, every time I drive through Pennsylvania, it's just like, when the fuck are we getting out? I got to look at the map and make sure that I didn't make a wrong turn. I'm not in some fucking infinite loop stuck in PA. I'm not saying PA is a bad state. I'm just saying it's a big-ass state, and it's fucking just long. Such a long drive. Jules, thank you. Yes, Texas is another one, especially if you're driving north to south. It could seem like forever, but PA I didn't think was such a big state. I looked at the map the other day. I'm like, this is a pretty big fucking state. No excuse why I'm stuck in this infinite loop of fucking Pennsylvanians. It's just crazy here. And then to boot, here in PA, or rather further up north from Pittsburgh, what is it, Allegheny National Forest? They got some fucking criminal running around and fucking, killing bears and people or some shit like that. So, I found that to be interesting. And I thought I was going to go down 80 and pass Allegheny National Forest, and I didn't. Because I was going to jump out of my car and, look for him. No, just kidding. I'm not looking for anybody who has survivalist skills and was former military. And the fact that they kept bringing up his former military training, but they never said what branch of service, that was a red flag to me. Because normally they'll tell you he was a Navy, Marine, Army, National Guards. They didn't say any of that shit. They just said he had military background training and he was a survivalist. So this guy who... I took down notes on him because a news crew contacted me and were asking my opinion on the matter. And I'm like, this guy is, if he's as good as they say he is, or has the necessary skills and knowledge, they're never going to catch him. They're not never going to catch him, but it's going to take them a long while to fucking catch him. Right? This guy broke out of prison and dipped into a forest. His fucking background. I mean, when a guy does that and can do that, That's pretty what you call it. I forgot to get a guy's name, Michael or James or some shit like that. But he's a survivalist, they said, comfortable in the forest. He escaped from a prison and jumped right into a forest. Local law enforcement think he's armed, so that means he must have broken into a home or two and found firearms of some kind. But they didn't say that. And I think if he's that good, he's going to mislead search parties away from him and not towards him. If he's that good. That guy isn't dangerous. No one in the area is fearing him. Terry, no one in the area has to fear him. But if you listen to his pedigree or his previous crimes, the guy isn't a nice dude, and he isn't going to tickle you when he sees you either. He's not going to come over here, you little Pennsylvanian, and tickle you with some shit. This guy's a brutal dude. Rambo, yes, it does sound familiar, but I told the lady, I said, depends on what his training was in the military. If he had the standard, what is that called, escape and evade, if he has that, he's definitely going to give the local law enforcement a run for their money. So I mean, listen, guys, it's a double combo, if you will. It's a double combo with this guy and his background and his training. It all depends on what he is. Sorry about that. Sorry, no. Can you post your link or caption? Sorry about that, guys. I think I got a phone call in the middle, and that's why what you call it. So anyway, but yeah, listen, he, again, I don't think he's a problem. I'm not scared of the guy. If I wind up in the forest, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, where's this Michael dude? I wouldn't give a fuck. It's a big ass forest, by the way, Jason, where are you going? Joe M, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm going back home tomorrow. What you call it? Came down to see what you call it, Scottish Bean Fitness. Sorry, McBean Fitness. Excuse me. And he had a disc throwing event. It was like an old people's Olympic kind of deal. It was called the National Seniors Game or something like that. So yeah, that's why I'm in Pittsburgh, and then I'm heading back home tomorrow. At least I hope so. Brian, yeah, Bigfoot will probably get him first, or whatever. Miko Wolf, that's what I was thinking, because they didn't mention his branch of service, and no matter where I looked, I couldn't find it. Maybe one of you guys can, but the fact that they didn't mention it, I'm thinking maybe he was Special Forces, and if he is Special Forces, the small chance that he might be Special Forces, that makes this even a worse search for somebody who has escape and evasion, Special Forces, and was a survivalist before he joined the military. So, that's just somebody to look out for. At the very least, have your antennas up if you're in the area. That's all. I'm not saying be scared. A lot of people out there carry. So, I'm pretty sure he's not going to just fuck with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. So, yeah. Susan Muser, how close am I to getting out of New York City? I'm hoping. So right now, I'm currently looking for an apartment, right, or a home, rather. Sorry, and it's a pain in the ass. Like looking outside of New York City is just a pain in the ass. So I'm not rushing to do it, but I'm actively doing it. I'm actively looking now. So McBean Scott says, who are you calling old? It was pretty cool watching the senior citizen crew there. Fucking, like there were a bunch of them. There were a bunch of them like doing different shit. Hell, I met a Native American dude who was 78 or 79. I mean, this guy was straight, Indian, like, the whole fucking 9 yards. And he was doing the shot put. And I'm like, at his age, he's doing shot put and throwing it pretty fucking far. Pretty sure further than me. But the fact that he was that old and kicking ass, I'm like, that's impressive shit. It's impressive shit just to watch people older than you do shit that you should be doing, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that I'm going to start throwing discus and javelins and shit like that, but it's pretty cool to watch older people do it. So anyway, McBean, if you will, he placed third. He did really good today. It was pretty cool watching him. And the other two winners, the gold and silver guy, it was pretty cool watching them. And the one guy, the gold, like out of the gates, you knew he was going to win. because his first throw, you were like, this dude's a winner, you know. And then the other guy, the guy that won second, in my opinion, I think Scottish Fitness and that guy were close, like were close to one another. So, but the other guy, that there was no touching the first place winner. He was really good. No, Jake. Sorry, Lorif. I did not experience any flooding. I heard upstate New York they were getting tsunamis and shit up there, but in the city we didn't. It was just regular rain. So when I started seeing floodings and this shit, I'm like, what the fuck's going on upstate New York? You know, so I contacted one of my kids' mother, lived in Connecticut. She said there was no flooding there. It seemed like it just happened, like in that Hudson Valley area. The Hudson Valley, clearly he's still alive. He had a live stream. I think he posted something, or he posted something about the floods being bad and people dying. I'm like, who the fuck is dying in this shit? So one lady apparently was washed away during the floods. Brian Barbie, yeah, a frisbee competition. I'm pretty sure. No, they didn't have that there, but they had the discs. You want to call that frisbee? You take that shit up with McBean. Anyway, one person died. A lady died. She got washed away in the flood, and the I am going to hell for what I'm about to say next, but the boyfriend or the husband, don't know what he was. He just looked like some guy you couldn't depend on in a situation like that. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know that when it comes to floodings, shit happens like that. But the way the story was told, it was weird. And I'm like, did the guy? I don't know. It was just a weird story. I've seen and heard stories of people being washed away in flash floods, and some of it's bad. But the way this story went, I was just like, holy shit, dude. You're like you. I don't know. You guys got to read the story and you make judgment on yourself. But yeah. I'm back. Hope you're well. The Roman Prepper. Yeah, I'm doing good. Where are you back from? I know you were out and about doing some shit. Facts don't care. But yeah. Listen, guys. It was just a weird thing. Anyway, before I fucking start going on that flood shit, Hudson Valley Prepping had a live stream earlier. They were talking about the flooding and the constants of these kinds of weather anomalies we're going to see. We are seeing shit that we haven't seen, and we're seeing it more constant, if that makes sense. Peter, the topic I'm talking about today is how much danger are we in? And I'm asking that question because apparently within the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've had, maybe 2 months now, sorry, we've had numerous things pop up and they keep warning us about it as if they're setting it up for something big, right? If that makes sense. So, Luis shared a link of this story. Yeah, if you find it, you share the link. I'm not going to look it up now, but I just read it in a post probably a couple of hours ago while doing research for this video. For this live stream, and I was like, that was just a flash flood in New York City and dying from that. You know, Survival for Life TV. What's going on? You know, listen, guys. I know shit happens, and it's easy for me to sit here and judge. But I like I said, I just looked at the husband or the boyfriend. I was like, that's probably why she slipped out of his hands. Anyway, and flood waters will fall off the edge. So, Romy Davis, aren't you still at prepper? Am I a prepper or at prepper? I don't know what you mean, Romy Davis. Speak fucking English to me when you talk to me. Anyway, so guys, according to Afghanistan News, the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever case is now at 400. Keep in mind, this started, if I'm not mistaken, earlier this year or late last year, and now the case is up to 400. Now, out of the 422 people that passed away, out of the 422 people that contracted this virus or disease, 35 people died. Now, I don't think that's a lot. I mean, that's almost 10%, but not quite. So now people are in the Afghan region, if you will, and other regions that are now being affected by this, they're getting a little nervous. Now, it seems like this is affecting elderly people. Another one that's listen, you elderly people, you guys are being chased by these diseases and these viruses and these things that are being created. It seems like they're going after the old people because everything is affecting elderly and young. And that Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever is caused by an infection from a tick. So that's something to keep in the back of your head because you guys notice there's a lot more tick activity. The tick rate for this year, for this summer, has gone up. I won't say dramatically, but a lot. So there's going to be a lot more tick-borne related diseases coming out. And again, this is what they're blaming it on. I'm not saying I 100% believe it, but I have contracted a couple of, or not a couple, but a tick bacteria, if you will, a few years ago. And I was supposed to take some antibiotics for it, but I let it run its course, and now it's gone, right? So the transmission of this is to people's either by tick or through contact with infected animal blood or tissues during and immediately after slaughter. So a couple of people, I forgot what country had the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever. They got it in a slaughterhouse. I forgot what country that was in. But these people in Afghanistan are getting it from ticks. Now, I didn't know ticks lived in Afghanistan, considering I know Afghanistan does have forest and forest areas, but a lot of it's rocky. So I was a little surprised about that. So the disease, guys, disease was first characterized in Crimea in 1944 and given its Crimean hemorrhagic fever. It was later recognized in 1969 as the cause of illness in Congo, thus resulting in the current name of the disease, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, or CCHF. So we're seeing more of these tick-borne ailments, if you will. And Southern Cat Lady, this is not a new virus. It's been around for a long while, since 1944, right? So, and then they had a major outbreak in 1969. So it's been around a little bit, but it's news to most of us because it stayed on that part of the world, in the African continent or Middle Eastern continent. It stayed there. And if I'm not mistaken, it's popped up, of course, in China, because every disease known to mankind either starts in China or ends up in China. China can't get away from it. Plus, they have so many travelers that, transient through that country. It's probably why a lot of diseases get there. Plus, they also create a lot. But let's not go down that road. So, interestingly enough, Japanese woman in Japan is the first woman to die from myocarditis involving a tick infection called Oz virus. Now, the fact that myocarditis is attached to this story, I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe it wasn't the Oz virus. Now, they said that this was the first death ever to be caused by the virus, but something tells me it was something else. And you guys know what I'm hinting at. Now, it could have been the Oz virus, considering a lot of tick-borne diseases are do cause inflammation in the body, do cause inflammations in the nervous system. So there are a lot of tick viruses out there that do this. So that's another side why I'm like, all right, that could be so. Plus, the lady was in her 70s, right? So anyway, this is northeast of Tokyo. It's called Ibaraki Prefecture. That's the area northeast of Tokyo that she died in. Again, this was a tick-borne disease, and this happened, if I'm not mistaken, last year, but they're reporting it now. Now, it happened a year ago, but of course, they're reporting it now because with the all right, here's the craziness about this. So you have the Oz virus, which is a tick-borne disease, and then you have the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, which is also being carried by ticks. Not that ticks caused it initially. But both of these are caused by a bug. With that, guys, right the fucking climate change. And so I'm like, wait a second. Somehow, climate change is causing the explosion of ticks. I don't see how that's so. I think ticks are not so much that ticks are man-made, but at least the viruses they have in them are man-made. Hence, Lyme disease, right? Lyme disease. A lot of people seem to think it was man-made. I'm starting to lean in that direction too. Sorry. Okay, I guess Rambetta. That makes sense if I said that right. Maybe it is. Maybe that's why they bought it out a year later. But I found it interesting, and so of course, here it goes. Here they go, guys. So now every time a new something comes out, virus comes out, every time something new comes out, they follow it up immediately with no arm ticket exists against this virus, which was first detected in 2018. We're talking about the Oz virus right now. In the, I'm not even going to play myself, found in Japan's Elhim or Ehime prefecture. I guess that was a forest, right? The virus was discovered in the country 2018. While they may have been cases of human and wild animals being infected, there have been no confirmation on its onset on a person until now. The women went to the medical institution in the summer of 2022 after developing symptoms, including fever and fatigue, according to the prefectural government and the health ministry. And then she wound up dying last year, and they waited a whole year to report this. Go figure. So yes, as far as tick repellent goes, guys, there's a lot of natural shit. Just look it up online. I know there's one with tea tree and citrus oil, right? Tea tree oil and citrus oil mixed. That is good for your skin. You put that on your skin, ticks are not going to attach. Then you can use the hard shit that they sell in the stores on your clothing. I wouldn't use the hard shit on my skin because I'm pretty sure over time it's going to cause some kind of cancer. But if you use the natural essential oils, you'll be fine. Now, I've used essential oils many, many times, and I put it on my arms and legs, and normally I don't get ticks. It's when I don't use the essential oils, when I find a fucking hitchhiker, when I get home, right? So, yeah, I find it very useful, the essential oils to put on your body. The hard shit, put it on your clothes, boots, whatever. And always start with your boots and your lower pants because not that you'll kill them, but you'll definitely stop them from crawling up your pants, right? Uh, Little socialism. I don't know if DEET is less dangerous. I'd rather not find out the hard way. I'd rather not fucking use DEET and have my dick fall off in fucking 5 years. So I put that shit on my clothes. I've always put it on my clothes, and this started with my father back in the 90s, right? Citronella, Chris, I don't know, but I know that tea tree oil and what is it, lemon citrus or citrus oil works for sorry, works for ticks and it works for our skin. There is a dog concoction you can use. A lot of dogs don't like the citrus one, the lemon citrus, if I'm not mistaken. They don't like that shit. But you can spray it on them and it will help. It will prevent ticks from crawling all over them. Always start again at the feet, work their way up. I would absolutely do essential oils for dogs as well. It keeps them off the dogs, and your dogs don't have to worry about having a fucking tick hitchhike. Now, my dog sticks his nose in every fucking bush between here and Uganda. So every day we have to pick ticks off his fucking nose. In some cases, we see them engorged. That means they've been on him, at least a day. So it's always a problem. But he hasn't come down with anything, luckily. So we are faced, guys, with so many different things going on. It's insane right now. I mean, I've never seen this kind of I never seen this kind of uh, diseases and viruses popping up left and right. I mean, left and right. Georgia Peach, I did not see the Sound of Freedom yet. I am going to see it this week. I mean, I've been traveling so much, I haven't had time to see it. I am going to make time, though, this weekend to see it. So, tonight's live stream on the Angry Truth channel is going to be about a half hour, but we're going to talk about New York City and the state crisis that it's in, and no one's talking about it. Right now, New York City is going through some shit, and they're trying to cover it up, at the very least not talk about it. And I'm going to talk about the active shooter New York City had, or rather an area had. The roaming prepper, I'm buffering because I'm live out of a hotel. Ben, I'm in Pittsburgh, and I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm leaving early tomorrow morning, by the way. Hey, Jim, thank you for joining me, and I'm good. Buffering on my end. Buffering a bit. Yeah, it's like a Motel 6. And I'm not even using the hotel internet because I was afraid of using that. I'm using a what you call it? A hotspot on my phone. And my phone signal is pretty low. So, sorry about that. Thank you for the text, the roaming prepper. I'll read this in a little bit, but thank you for that. The Peter, New York City collapsing is an understatement. An understatement like you wouldn't fucking believe. I mean, like, whatever. So, guys, jump into another thing. This is happening in Canada right now, in the province of New Brunswick. So, mysterious brain disorder strikes hundreds, and cases are increasing. Not sure what it is. They're not sure what it is right now. And yes, the Roman prepper. I saw the text on the outbreak in Argentina, but because it's so small, I can't really see it, and I don't want to. They said, okay, sorry, an increase in invasive group A streptococcal infection, if I said that right, has been reported in multiple provinces, and this is in Argentina, like the roaming prepper said. Due to infected droplets during, so symptoms depend on site of infection. No shit. And can include fever, chills, shortness of breath, headaches, nausea, vomiting. Antibiotic treatment is necessary. Here it is. Here comes the hammer. There is no arm ticket. Now, guys, I want you to, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, like I normally do, sorry. I want you to notice something very, very careful. Everything that happens now, every ailment or disease that happens, they're going to put no arm ticket is available. Why do they put that there? Well, they put it there to get people enticed about, or the idea of them developing an arm ticket. So when one is available, there you go. People are going to run and get it. They're going to continue to scare us with this shit. They're going to continue to scare us with this bullshit. That's basically what it is. All right? So they keep dropping the hammer as to the no arm ticket available at this time. Brian, yes, the Vespa scooter shooter. I'm going to talk about that tonight. And I'm going to, yes, I'm going to talk about that later tonight. I don't want to get into it now. But that's a problem. That was one problem in New York City. There's multiple problems developing in New York City. And nobody wants to talk about it. So, infrared survival? No, I did not move to Pittsburgh. I do not want to move to a state that never ends. But, Heartland Survival, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, it's just, And guys, that's the conclusion I'm coming to. I'm not saying that it's fact. I'm not saying it's I'm right. I'm just saying that's the conclusion I'm coming to because everything now is like, my God, did you hear about this outbreak of the itchy dicky syndrome? Yes, people have or men have itchy dick syndrome. And guess what, guys? There's no arm ticket available for it. Right? So they're going to keep, trying to scare people with the bullshit, and especially if you come out with an itchy dick syndrome or an itchy dick virus, guys are going to be like, I don't want an itchy dick. I'll take the shot. I'll take it. And that's how they're going to keep scaring people with it. And like I said, the feeling I have with the next outbreak, I think it's going to, affect kids. It's going to be something where people are going to they're going to pretty much start throwing their kids at hospitals to get, arm ticketed. So yeah. No arm tickets available because there are not enough people who need it. Right, R. Jones, but it's not available, or maybe it is, or maybe it's lying in the cut, and they're holding on to it. So again, guys, the Mr. 19 arm ticket, if you will, was according to a doctor or a couple of doctors. They said that arm ticket was developed too quick and was given out too fast. There was no real shortage. They tried to create a shortage, but there never was. And the amount of arm tickets that were given out in the amount of time that they had it in was impossible. Impossible. So, with that, guys, I believe that they probably have arm tickets for some of these, not all of them. Like the mystery brain disorder that's happening in Canada, I'm pretty sure they don't have it because they don't know what the fuck it is. So neurological symptoms, guys, like hallucination, muscle wasting, vision problem, memory loss, abnormal movements, were seen in 2015 in a small cluster of patients, eventually growing to 48 cases. Now, of course, they backdated to 2015. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Gary Austin, thank you for the donation. But, of course, the cases have grown. But some health experts and local residents say the number of people with the condition is much higher and may exceed 200. Now, why did they go with the low number of 48 if it exceeds that? I don't know. I wish I could make up something right now. In addition, an unusual number of those cases are in young people who do not typically show dementia-like symptoms or signs of other neurological problems. As of 2021, there were 9 deaths attributed to this mysterious illness. Now, if this mysterious illness, guys, started in 2000, this is why I call bullshit on it. If this mysterious illness started in 2015, you mean to tell me that in 8 years you couldn't figure it out? Right? So I call bullshit when I see it. And now listen, guys, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I could be missing something. I might not be privy to something. Maybe they've been trying to figure this out since 2015, but you had 8 years to figure this out and now you can't. That's a problem, right? That's a big problem. Yo, this fucking chair I'm sitting in sucks ass, by the way. So, a government investigation which has considered environmental toxin as the cause abruptly shut down in 2021. So, 2021, they had 9 people pass away. 2021, they also shut down the government investigation. That means they found something or they linked it to something that if they come out with it, they're going to get the shit suit out of them. So I find that to be very interesting. Again, guys, I found this article in the Post, and this has been going on for a while. Now, the 2015, I think they threw that year in there to throw us off. I think it was to throw us off because I think a lot of us are making a connection with the, where I'm going with this, right? Kamir's stepdaughter. So this is a girl, Gabrielle. Yes, Gabrielle. Had to drop out of college and give up her love of figure skating at 20 because she became ill with memory loss, vision problems, and she cannot stand for more than a couple minutes. But now, this girl caught it last year. So, again, what was introduced heavily in the last couple of years? Right? The arm ticket. But they try to sit there and tell us that this mysterious case started in 2015, but they can't figure it out in 8 years. That's an improbability, especially when more and more people are coming up with it, right? So again, I'm going to call bullshit on this case. But nonetheless, guys, nonetheless, they're creating more situations for us to be scared of, or are these situations actually coming true because of the environment we are creating for ourselves on this planet? We are, I won't say heavily populated, but we have a lot of people on this planet. I also think that with so many people, we're disrupting a lot of nature as well. So we could be waking a couple things up that have been lying dormant. We could be. Or enter the Twilight Zone, if you will, or conspiracy theory zone. And to that, and could these things be created in a lab and then passed out to the world, like Mr. 19 was? Now they're trying to say that, no, now they're admitting that Mr. 19 started in China. Yeah, all right, so here we go. We all knew from the jump that it started out there. And now they're sitting there going, no, it didn't. It didn't start here. The Americans started. Now there was a Chinese government official saying, yeah, it most likely. He didn't say it did. He said it most likely started here, and it started in our labs. I was like, so for all of us that got our channels demonetized, videos deleted, now all the truth is coming out, and I'm hoping this is a segue to sue YouTube for some kind of negligence. I don't know. Think about it. Get a lawyer to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure there could be a couple channels out there that can make some money back, get their channels back, and or sue the bull. Listen, I will back anyone suing YouTube to sue the balls off of them to the point where they collapse. I don't have a problem with it. If somebody sued a company that bad to where it collapsed, and even if it cost me my channel, it is so fucking worth it. So it looks like the lag is super far behind. I think I'm behind a full minute or two. I guess it's because of the what you call it, hotspot I'm using. Sutu. Listen, like I said, I hope they do. I hope somebody does, because it's enough already. So yeah, guys, there's a definite 1 minute lag or 30-second lag. So for what I'm reading and what you're hearing, I apologize. I'm probably going to have to go with a better hotspot moving forward, because I am going to be traveling more. So I'm going to need a better hotspot that's going to, help with this shit. Guy45, I am on Rumble. I do have videos on Rumble. Just type in the Angryprepper. You'll see it pop up. Yeah, it's just that a lag of 30 seconds is a lot, man. Because by the time I read something or you guys hear something and you respond, like a full minute went by, You need a Motel 7. I'm in a Hilton, by the way. So go figure that shit. This Hilton was built in the fucking 60s. I mean, it's an old building. They tried to modify it, but the only thing that's really modified and really works really well is the AC in here. The AC gets nice and cold. But Jason got to give them a subpoena. Well, yeah, I guess we should give them a subpoena of some kind. But yeah, definitely, guys, because all this information that's coming out now, I mean, it's turning out to be facts, and the fact that a lot of channels were kicked off because they were not, according to YouTube, they weren't talking facts. They were lying. They were spreading propaganda. But now that same propaganda is turning out to be true. That absolutely means you could sue somebody for destroying your living. And that's what they can call it. What you call it? Something. There is a way you can put the screws to them, and they cost you your income. They could do that. But they cost me my income because they're cocksuckers of America, and they could go with that. So they cost people a cost of living. They cost people their income, and they cost them a job. Now, some people don't look at YouTube as being a job. I don't look at it as being a job because I enjoy it, but I also, if this ended tomorrow, I would fucking bounce on my feet. But other people, guys, if YouTube, defamation of character, thank you, Heartland Survival. That's one. Defamation of character. That's another one they consume. That's two. That's two. Right? Absolutely. That's a good one. But yeah, I wonder how we can get that started. That would absolutely be the way to just fucking set it off and sue them for. And there's a bunch of channels, guys. I mean, we're talking about probably thousands of channels that were kicked off and kicked off YouTube or demonetized or whatever it is, and YouTube would fucking collapse with the money they would have to pay these people. Lost earnings. There he goes. Thank you. Hey. I don't know how to say your name, man, but lost earnings. Crockers of. It's Cocksuckers of America, Chris. Cocksuckers of America. 1-800-Cocksuckers. That's what YouTube is. That's their scheme. Buffering again. Sorry about that. Well, listen, if somebody's absolutely looking to put YouTube in a corner, it would work. But enough people have to get together and talk to one another. I was shadow banned from Jump because of content. Bug Out Adventures was shadow banned. Interesting. And it is a First Amendment violation as well. Listen, there's a lot of lawsuits that can come out of this. I'm talking about a ton. Especially, again, now that information is coming to light and shit is being corrected, if you will. Because remember, we were called conspiracy theorists. We were part of the QAnon bullshit. By the way, the QAnon bullshit is popping up again because you guys are seeing this shit, what liberal America's doing, what Democrats are doing. They're talking about the movie Sound of Freedom and calling it all kinds of fucked up names. So, yeah, it's fucking bad. It's bad when you have the liberals talking about the Sound of Freedom being a superhero movie for fathers and how the information wasn't realistic. This shit is happening in the world. And instead of focusing on kids missing, because listen, that nest, they don't want to rattle. They rattle that nest, a lot of people are going to die. Not even go to jail. Die. And the fact that they're attacking this movie and calling it a QAnon fantasy film, that's a fucking problem. That is the kind of shit, guys, that pisses people off because you have a real problem in the world. Like when that African dude, Mumbai, Gorilla Zoo, or Wambambi, whatever the fuck his name was, Mobutu, right? When he stole those little African girls, remember how Obama and them were like, "We're gonna get those kids back. We're gonna send special forces in for them," and then it went radio silence on the situation. I remember a lot of you remember that, right? Remember it was about Babwana, whatever the fuck his name is. He stole all these kids, and they said they were going to send special forces. And then Michelle Obama, her stupid attempt with a sign saying, bring back the girls or bring back our girls or some shit like that. And then it was dead. These people do not fight real causes, by the way. Politicians like to sit there and go, "Oh, we're going to fight this cause." And then when they find out that it's too real, they go, "All right, we can't fight this. We're gonna let those girls, get lost." Meanwhile, a band of real motherfuckers get together and went in after those kids. It would have got done. But the whole sex slave trade industry, guys, is such a deep rabbit hole. Nobody wants to touch it, and now you have media talking out against it. Yes, I meant Michael Obama. You're right. I'm sorry. Shame on me. Tell you, don't get me started on the whole Michelle Obama is a dude, man. God, I love that. I love that whole thing. And no, it is not a conspiracy theory, guys. The motherfucker has a dick that's swinging back and forth in her pants when she was dancing on the Ellen show. And yeah, whatever. I don't want to start that because that's like my favorite conspiracy theory, that Michelle Obama's a man. And it's not a conspiracy theory. There's way too many arrows pointing in the direction of, yes, a dude. So yeah, man. I have fun with that one. That's like my favorite one, man. Like holy shit, especially when there was something that just came out about Michelle Obama's mother dying, or a will of some kind, and on the will there is no Michelle, it's Michael, right? So yeah, man, I'm all in on this thing. And every time, like that is one of my most idiotic conspiracy theories that I'm involved in. Is that one? Like that is such my favorite one. You know, right? It's funny, right? Joan Rivers said what she said, and then she was dead, and like a couple weeks later, some crazy shit like that. But whatever. It's just that's my favorite one. I like to have fun with that one. Like they're QAnon people that get crazy with a lot of theories. That's my QAnon one. The fucking Michelle Obama's a dude. But like I said, look at the kids. Don't look anything like her at all, or him for that matter. She got a ding dong. Let's try gardening. It's like, stop it. I'm telling you, that's fucking, yeah, they call it Big Mike. And the crazy shit is, for those of you that don't believe me, look up the interviews with Barack Obama calling Michelle Obama Michael on separate occasions. The last time, I don't ever recall mistaking my wife or girlfriends in the past for a dude's name. Ever. That is like one hell of a mistake. Right? I've never called, my mother Rudy, by mistake. I never called my mother mom and confused her with dad. Never have I done that. But he did it repeatedly. So yeah. Yeah, man. But like I said, I like to have fun with that one. That's my favorite one. Like, and every time I could be in the middle of on a highway and stuck in traffic, and someone's talking about Michelle Obama being a dude, I will fucking get involved in that conversation. I will jump in the car with the dude. I'm like, yo, do you really? Remember you seen this video? And I'll start showing them all the videos about the cock swing and all that crazy shit, man. And the big ass hands. She got fucking giant hands too, man. There's a lot of fun with this. A lot of fun. When you when you want to laugh, I jump right into that. Remember Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah, the man that didn't kill himself? Yeah. Dan Rose, that's the other thing. Thank you. Dan Rose goes, where's the baby pictures and the videos? Absolutely. Exactly. No baby pictures of Michelle Obama. I looked online everywhere. But if you type in all first ladies child pictures, they have them all except her. Just saying, like I said, like to have fun with that one, man. Richard De Leon. I'm in Pittsburgh. So I'm in Pittsburgh right now, and the crazy shit about it is, the hotel I'm at, there is nothing around us. There's not a fucking restaurant I could throw a stone at. There's nothing. It's like it's in the worst industrial area. You know what the industrial area reminds me of? It reminds me of Fight Club. That's where this hotel is. In the middle of nowhere. And they get you with the restaurant downstairs because you're not going to drive 20 minutes to the nearest restaurant. You're going to eat here. But this place is fucking forgots, man. It's just fucking middle of nowhere and fucking shot. But yeah. Yo, man hands. Why are you there? I'm here because... McBean Scottish Fitness had a old people Olympics, and he was throwing a discus, and I just came down to support him. He invited me to come down, so like he invites me to come down. I go, yeah, man, sure, no problem, Pittsburgh. So for some weird reason or another, I thought Pittsburgh was like 2-3 hours away. So the day before I'm ready to leave, he's giving me all the information on where the event's being held and all this other shit. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. I type it in my phone and I go, motherfucker, 6 hours away. And I was like, damn it. I was like, fuck. It's like, all right, fuck it. It's a road trip now. So then I had to go to the storage unit. I had to pack the truck with more shit. And then I made it a road trip. And then I got to drive, now I'm driving back tomorrow. I wasn't driving back today. I was thinking about it, but I was like, nah, I'm not driving back today. I'll stay here one more day. But right, I thought Pittsburgh was so much closer, and it wasn't. Shame on me. Because I remember telling myself, you know what it was too? I remember saying, that's what it was. Before I looked it up, I remember saying Pittsburgh, and I said, you know what? I should stop by East Palestine, Ohio. And I go, wait a second. East Palestine, Ohio is an hour away from Pittsburgh. I'm like, East Palestine, Ohio is fucking sick. Motherfucker! And then I look on my phone and I type it in and I'm like, son of a bitch. I was like, shit, man. So anyway, I made it worth this while. So I got to meet a good guy. I mean, it wasn't a wasted trip, that's for sure. I got to see a bunch of old people throw shit. They even had old people throwing javelins, and I was a little worried about that. Well, I wasn't so much worried because we were pretty far away, like a football field away. If they would have hit me with a javelin, I would have been fucking impressed as I died. But too far away. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to watch older people stay active in that sense. You know, shot put, track, tennis, badminton. I didn't see badminton or tennis. I think it was in the dome behind us. But you know, just watching older people stay busy. It was pretty cool. So yeah. Jazz, I'm not a firefighter anymore. I haven't been a firefighter in a long ass time. So, guys, one last thing I want to talk about before we go off the air. The avian flu made a jump. I'm going to do a video on that. But apparently the avian flu has made a jump to mammals. Now, scientists are, as they always do now, very, very, very concerned. They are watching this closely as it's now infecting mammals. Now, they didn't say which mammals, which I found interesting, but they said it has infected mammals. And I'm sorry, I'm a liar. It infected mammals, and I want to say like weasels and shit like that, like the smaller ones. But I see where this is going. I know what direction this is going in right now because they're already building a narrative. They're writing a narrative out by telling us that the avian flu has officially jumped to mammals. Where do you think it's going to go next? Right? So they're starting this narrative that it can infect mammals now. It's killed 500 million birds as of 2021, and it's killing all kinds of birds now. Not just, you know, birds we eat, but, you know, eagles, geese, and shit like that, ducks and whatnot. I think, guys, this is not, and the narrative that I'm talking about, the narrative I'm talking about is not infecting humans, at least not yet. But I think the mammal jump is going to make its way over to cows and pigs. And you know where that goes from there, right? And once it makes that jump to cows and pigs, guys, there goes bug time. Because they're going to be handing out bug burgers like it was okay. Because they're going to slaughter half of our fucking beef supply once this makes the jump to cows and or pigs. Right? So, they blame the avian flu on the egg prices going up. We're definitely going to see, probably within a year or so, because they're not going to rush it. They're going to take their time. And we're going to see this thing jump into animals we eat. Without a doubt. That is why they're building the narrative. Now, they said that although in its current form, the H5N1 is unlikely to cause a pandemic. Bullshit. It can mutate and could potentially infect humans later in time. So they're telling us right then and there that later in time, it will eventually get there. They're not ready for it yet. That's why they're not going to release it. If this avian flu, guys, gets manipulated into humans, we are going to see a fucking shitstorm we have never seen before. You watched people act like baby back bitches over Mr. 19. The avian flu that makes its way into humans is going to be a fucking shit show. And nothing short of it. You know, so, like I said, I see the narrative they're building. I see the direction they're going in with this. As far as humans, like I said, not yet. But I can see this making a jump to pigs and cows. And there goes our food supply. Then they were like, well, you guys don't have to eat pigs and cows anymore. We offer you these delicious cricket burgers. And of course, there's an asshole out there right now. It's a guy in Brooklyn, little Asian dude, sitting there pushing his bug business. You know, this is the guy that was on the Tucker Carlson show. This asinine fucking hipster wore a chef's outfit on the show. He is not a chef. He started a business and trying to sell bugs. bug powder, bug burgers, bug meat, bug candies, you name it. This guy's coming out bug, and he wore a little chef's fucking with his name on it. Like anybody gave a fuck what his name was, right? Anyway, he's up there talking to Tucker like, yes, and people have been eating bugs for centuries. No shit, they've been eating bugs for centuries. They can't fucking afford it. That's why they were eating fucking bugs. They couldn't afford meat. They weren't eating bugs because they were like, you know what? I don't want that cow. I want that cricket. Said no fucking human being ever. And the whole vegetarian thing and the whole, what is that bullshit? Vegan? That's all bullshit. Vegan lifestyle wasn't something that people actively went out to do. People became vegan and or ate bugs because the areas they lived in didn't allow them to have certain meats or have meat at all or only have meat once in a blue, which is probably what we need to be eating once in a blue, not all the time. Still, guys, nonetheless. All right, Hudson Valley, thank you for joining me tonight. Nonetheless, now we got these motherfuckers talking about vegan meals and stop. When the fucking chips are down and there's a fucking piece of steak in front of you, your vegan ass is going to be licking that steak before you eat it. So we need to stop the bullshit with this vegan and fucking, crap. Vegetarian shit. Stop. Fuck out of here. And then telling us we need... And people who eat bugs, they're going to create their own category. Because that's what hipsters do. It's not going to be vegan. It's going to be, a bugatarian or some shit. I am a bugatarian. I only eat bug products. I will not touch vegetables and I won't touch meat. That's stupid. It's harming the planet. I will eat crickets and cockroach and drink roach milk like the fucking assholes they are. These people are, trust me, they're going to come up with their own fucking name. It's just a matter of time. Bug Fesbian, I don't know. Like I said, they're going to come up with a name. It's just a matter of time. And I'm going to sit there and break their fucking balls when they do. Seriously. Free-range crickets. Yes, Rebecca, free-range crickets is it. It's like, oh, my God. I don't know. We've entered worse than the Twilight Zone. Listen, did you guys hear what the CDC did the other day? The CDC, God bless their retarded hearts, but the CDC gave advice on how transgender women can breastfeed. They're giving advice to people who can't breastfeed. And they're like, well, I started lactating when I took Get Bent, motherfucker. I don't care. Listen, the problem with transgender breastfeeding is that they take so much hormones and so many pills to balance out their psychosis, one. Two, to make them something they're not, that they are loaded with chemicals in the body. Loaded. The hormone blockers and all this shit, loaded with it. So now you're transferring all of that bio shit into the baby via breast milk. Right? And so the CDC is sitting there talking about they're giving advice on men breastfeeding. These fucking morons are sitting there going, I feel so left out that I can't feed my child because you're not supposed to, you fucking idiot. Like, what is wrong with these people? So now the CDC jumped in on the idiot bandwagon and it's like, well, this is what you guys need to do. And they need to take an absorbent amount of drugs to produce a little bit of milk, not even enough to sustain the child. That's the craziness about it. There is not one transgender dude out there who's breastfeeding who's producing enough to feed a child. They have to turn around and give the kid formula. So give the kid formula. You're not meant to breastfeed. There are women out there who can't breastfeed. You don't see them going to the ends of the world and talking about how depressed they are. They can't feed their child. They just give the kid formula. And I'm pretty sure most women don't want a baby sucking on their fucking titties all the time. Right? But these idiots are sitting there talking about it's natural for a mother to feed his child. A natural woman to feed the child. Not some fucking made up gimp and who got himself cut to look like a woman and then's taking all of these chemicals. Right, Mars, they call it chest feeding. And I'm not calling it chest feeding, I'm calling it breastfeeding. And they call it chest feeding because of the transgender men. The women pretending to be men. So now They're called chest feeding for that reason, because they don't have breast anymore. All right, fine. But now, again, even with them, with all the fucking chemicals they're taking, guys, with all the shots they're taking, their milk is tainted. It's no good. But instead of the CDC warning against these people breastfeeding, they're encouraging it. And the craziness is, these are the same idiots that don't want chemicals in their cows. They want free-range chicken and organic meat. But they want their kids to be loaded up with hormone blockers, and they want their kids to be loaded up with hormone chemical-filled breast milk. Go fucking figure. These are the people that we're gonna have to deal with. And now their kids, I hope not, but their kids are going to have major developmental problems because they are breastfeeding their kids pure fucking chemical, pure medicine from the body into the baby. When these kids start having developmental issues, they're going to be the reasons why. So, I hope these people are happy. I hope when they realize that their kids are now officially retarded, they're going to be the reasons why. And then they're going to blame the CDC somehow. They're going to put the blame on somebody else. But whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. I'm going to switch over to the Angry Truth channel. I will see some of you guys over there. And if not, I will see the rest of you guys next week. No, wait, sorry. Thursday. I'll see the rest of you guys Thursday. All right, guys? Thank you.